Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I am attempting to kind of sort of just a little bit, maybe not so much, step out of my comfort zone. I do want to go ahead and let you all know your girl has been shopping. You got your money, okay? And I was recently in Atlanta not too long ago, and I went by the Morphe store that they have. So I got a mirror, I got some other stuff, some stuff that I've been playing with and I'm not ready to talk about, and some stuff that I'm going to talk about for sure. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Wicked palette.
Are you dumb?
Girl Meets Makeup Fall Leaves in Morphe 3503. I'm gonna start with the Morphe 3503 palette, and I'm gonna go in with my Profusion eyeshadow crease brush ES3, and starting with making sure my rings stay on my finger, I'm gonna start with Explore, which is this shade right here, and I am going to be applying Explore into my crease, which is below my transition but above my lid. So I'm going to start by kind of patting it on or packing it on and blending at the same time. Then when I have like a little to no product, I'll start kind of switching it up a little bit, just kind of diffusing the line a bit, assisting in the blend, so maybe I won't have to do as much work later. Okay, so now I'm gonna start working on the transition, and I'm gonna go in with my Morphe JH40. What color do I want to go in with?
I mean, you gotta pick a struggle, bruh.
Now I'm gonna go into this shade because of the name, not necessarily because of the color. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go into this one. So I'm gonna go into the shade Stamina, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to begin to pack this on and blend out. I'm just meshing these two together, small circular motions. I'm also going to take this and I'm going to start bringing it on my, I'm going to also start bringing it down here on my lower lash line. I'm trying to stay as close as possible. My personal preference is not to go all the way in to my inner corner with the darker color. It's just not flattering on me, but do you, boo, do you. Now I'm going to take my Makeup Shack T70. And I've been doing this lately when I've been playing with my face and whatnot. I think I did this on my last video. I'm not sure. I recorded so much content and just not been satisfied, so I haven't been uploading it. But so instead of like just blending the brown out, I've grown accustomed, or really grown to like blending out with a neutral color. So I'm going into the Girl Meets Makeup palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Natural, which is this shade right here. Oh, excuse me, it's that kombucha. And I'm just going to use this to blend this out. So I'm just going to go back and forth, building this up, blending it out, making sure it's deep, the depth that I want it to be, making sure it's everything that I want it to be, making sure that I'm just in love with it before I cut the crease. I'm going to finish this eye, I'm going to cut my crease, and I'll be right back. In the meantime, in between time though, I will be watching Ambitions on my laptop. We'll talk about that when I get back. And yes, I did catch P-Valley. We're going to talk about that when I get back too, okay? Let me go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert! Let's get back into it. Gotta get my kombucha on. Got to. Okay, so now we are going to go into the Wired Urban Decay palette. I'm sorry, I thought I was trying to cough. I'm gonna go in with my Makeup Shack T39, and I'm going into Fluorescent. I think this color is so beautiful, and it just speaks to me. And this is not something that I typically would do. This is not a color like this is me trying to switch it up. I'm trying to stay away from the purples and just, you know, trying to level up. since I can't sing the song. Now I'm gonna make sure that my base is flat. I cut my crease and then I wiped off a lot of it with my Skin Active, I don't know how you say this, macular cleansing water. I used a Q-tip to get rid of like all of what was underneath, because this shade is so bright, I want it to shine through and I don't want there to be too much in the background. So when I went back in and filled in my cut, I went in with my flat Alamar brush. I don't want to use the same brush that I've been using, because then I will have residue, color residue from the other brush, the M421 that I usually use to cut my crease, and I don't want that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this onto my lid. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my Morphe JH40. I'm going to go back into Stamina, and I'm going to put some Stamina on my outer corner. Actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. Before I put some Stamina on my outer corner, I'm going to go ahead and go back into Explore with the ES3. And I'm going to start like right here on the edge, and I'll blend that in first. I use that shade first. And so while I am doing that, let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, P-Valley is fire. That is a really, really good show. When I was living in Atlanta, I was in the nightlife. Like, I was a cocktail waitress. So I've waitressed and bartended at strip clubs, nightclubs, all that good stuff, right? And I just think they do a really good job of depicting what it's really like being in a strip club. And I also think that they show that it's not always as glamorous as you think it is. I think they do a good job of that. The storylines are great. The acting is great. Like, it is really a good show. Quiet as Kept. People don't really talk about Ambitions on Stars. And I did not know it was on Stars. But let me tell you, Ambitions is a good show. And I am finishing up on the final episode of the first season, and I hope that it gets renewed and picked back up for another season. It's a good show. So I'm doing this with a really light hand. I'm gonna go back in with the blue. No extra product or anything. I'm just gonna continue to mesh these two colors together so that it's a smooth transition. And so now I'm going in with the ES3, and I'm going back into Stamina, and I'm gonna get this outer corner. Now I want the outer corner to be kind of deep, so I'm gonna put a lot of emphasis out here, and I'm gonna build it up real nice. So while I'm doing this, let's go ahead, let's go ahead and get, that was the chair, by the way. Let's go ahead and get into the mirror message. Why are you telling me that my laptop is going dead? How is that possible? Oh, child, you didn't put the charger in the laptop? Please hold the phone. So this video is mirror message. It's important to be able to admit when you're wrong and when you've simply just made a fucked up decision. It's important. Admitting fault is not a weakness, it's a strength. And you know, sometimes it needs to be known that you are sorry for the mistake that you made, and it needs to be known that you did in fact that you have in fact made a mistake. That's important. Okay, so I'm looking in the camera and I'm seeing that it's not blending on my lid the way I want it to be. So I'm just going to go back with Explosion. Kind of get that over a little bit. And I'm going back in with the T39. Bringing it over some. Just to really get them to mesh. Alright, y'all. I'll be back. don't know if you can really see. I feel like the lighting, you can't. Let me turn the lighting down so maybe you can see the color that is this color. No, not that far down. But yeah, can you see it? Okay, let me cut my lights back up because lighting is everything. Okay. Alright, so this be the final look. I use the Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Chills for my inner corner highlight. I also want to say that most importantly, this video is dedicated to Miss Clara Mayfair. My best friend lost her mother and we celebrated her life on August 10th of this year. She passed from COVID. So let me also say that it is real. For those of you that do not believe, it's real and it's not a game. I want to thank my best friend for allowing us to experience and to love and live with the greatest part that is her, and that is her mother. So appreciative for that. There are so many jewels that this woman dropped every time I was in her presence. I learned something every single time. She was truly one of a kind. She will truly be missed. And we love you. And we got her back. I'm not going to take up any more time. You all have beautiful days. Never take a day for granted. Be able to admit when you're wrong and when you make a mistake. Own up to it. Change. Grow from it. Mama, we love you. And until next time, beauties.